Good morning. It is Monday, August 28th, 2017. This is the Bitter Knitters podcast. I'm here with Arthur.
Hello.
We've been gone for 3 weeks.
Yep.
A lot has happened. Today is my anniversary. Happy anniversary to my husband, 18
Happy
years.
anniversary.
Arthur, you walked me down the aisle, if
Yes,
you
I
remember.
did. I do.
Years ago. Yes. And you were just a wee, I remember the picture so clearly. There's a picture of me, you, and my husband, and we were all the exact same height. And by
I was going to say, that was like the last time you guys were taller than me.
Yeah, by Thanksgiving, you were, a foot taller than us. So it was funny. But welcome back. We went on vacation. We had a little family reunion down east at our family's house, which was great fun. I had a wonderful time. Okay. Arthur had an okay time.
I'm impartial. It's the same old, right? Like for me, it's not as exciting because I go home every year.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's true. I don't go down as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. You go ahead and talk because I'm having a discussion with our friend Ryan. He's trying to.
No worries. Yeah, it was nice. I mean, it would have been better if the weather was a little nicer, but it was a good time. It was nice. It was nice seeing everybody there, like all my aunts, all my uncles. That was a treat. I can't remember the last time that happened.
Well, yeah, it's been a long time because Sister Patty has never been able to go down before.
Yeah.
So it was nice that she was able to go.
Like me and Dad were talking about it, and I think the last time that all of you guys would have been in the same room would have been his and Mom's wedding.
All my family or his family too?
All my uncles and all my aunts.
Yeah.
Right?
That was true. That would have been the wedding.
Yeah, so, I mean, that was at least nice.
Yeah, I don't know. The last time I think where every single person in the family was together in our side of the family, not your father's side, wasn't even my mother's wedding. It would have been way back before the Christmas before your mom and dad moved down east. So.
Oh, yeah. When they were living here in Oshawa, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to see if Ryan got the thing. It's weird to add him to the call because Ryan now has a job. He's gainfully employed.
Yay, employment.
And he's going to have to talk to us while he's on the bus.
Oh, the things we might hear. New York City travel.
New York City bus.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Okay. Let me see if I sent this right. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did want to talk about something that I saw there. So let me just quickly send this invite out again. I won't say the whole thing or Ryan will kill me. Oh, I know why. I sent it to Hotmail instead of Gmail. There we go. So it's my last day in your family's town in New Glasgow, Nova Scotia.
Yep.
And I see your sister, Robin.
Okay.
Good morning, Robin and Abby and AC. I hope you're listening. I see her come running through the kitchen, through the living room, and she's like, someone's going to fight outside, right?
Yeah.
And of course, being related to me and to my sisters and my mom, we're nosy as shit.
Oh, yeah.
So I hop up too and go running outside. So what had happened was this tow truck was coming up the street. I guess that T Street that's right at, where they are.
Yep.
And it's going into the corner property to repossess somebody's car. And I guess the guy saw him coming and cut him off. And they all get out. And the family must have been swimming because they were in the pool. And they all come out in their bathing suits. And they're like yelling at the guy. This freaking skinny fucker's like, I know the law and you can't come on my property. And I'm recording this at this point. I'm like, look, he's a lawyer. He knows the law.
Yeah.
And then they're going back and forth and they're yelling at him. And then this big fat old lady starts yelling how the tow truck driver sexually assaulted her because he called her hun and darling.
Jesus fuck.
Right? And I'm like, why isn't the tow truck driver calling the police? That's what I would have just did right away. And so the tow truck driver, I guess, finally did. The police show up. And now the fat lady's put on some sort of muumuu to cover her bathing suit up. And she's complaining to the cop. And she's revealing a little bit of her bathing suit to see why she was so desirable that this guy had to sexually assault her in public. Oh my gosh, I was laughing so hard. We sat out there for an hour, right on lawn chairs in the driveway watching. We were so trashy. And so then of course the car got repossessed because you can't fight the repossession law. No, it's never gonna happen.
Not at all.
But it was so fun, and your sister Rob was like, "You have to tell that story to Arthur. You have to tell that story." So
I'm not even surprised by that. Like, I was honestly shocked that the entire time I was down there, other than an argument, I didn't see any fights. Like, that's just a coming home kind of event, you know?
Yeah, even especially at the party where all the family was drinking.
Yeah. No, that was it ran fairly smoothly.
Or the night before, when all apparently the night before, I got there very late Friday night. I didn't join any family things, but apparently they were all
they were all drinking
too, and nobody fought then either. So that's nice. Yeah. And we just had we got to see a very rare sight down east.
What?
A city hood rat in the country.
Oh yeah, true enough.
I won't name names, but there was a fight, and it was ridiculous.
Of course. I mean, like, if you didn't think it was going to happen, I mean, like Varys on Game of Thrones says, you haven't been paying attention.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's kind of just par for the course. Hello.
Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning. Good morning.
We finally got you in. Are you on the bus yet?
Not yet. I am walking to my death as we speak.
Oh, you're already at work.
No,
Did you say
I'm walking
death?
to the bus, which is my death.
Oh. Well, if this is what I always hated about taking public transit, is when it was crowded, there'd always be some weird random guy that would stick his crotch like right in your face. Turn to the side, buddy. I don't want your crotch in my face. Sicko.
Yes.
And same for women. Don't stick your crotches in my face either.
I like that. Stick all your crotches in my face.
Only
the men's. Only the men's. Only the men's. No women crotches in my face. Thank you.
So I think the first story we want to talk about is, I don't know what more we'll add to it, but I think Arthur wants to talk about what's been happening in the world. Not even just in America. It's happening up here in Canada.
Just all the bullshit Nazi nonsense that's fucking going down.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I mean, obviously it's been a problem. I mean, I find a lot of people pretty fucking stupid thinking that, like, this wave of white supremacy is a new thing. Like, it's been fucking prevalent for a long time, but it's just now it's finally getting forced down people's fucking throats. And I don't know, I find it quite overwhelming, especially what is now, how we can now classify people as fucking white supremacists. I was told the other day that I'm a white supremacist because I believe in borders. Do you know what I mean?
What?
Yeah. I was having a fairly civil conversation with somebody online, and we were just talking about current shit, and I said, I believe in borders, and I believe that every country does not owe citizenship to other people. And they said, you are a white supremacist. It's a little whack, right? Like,
that's weird. Like, look, we all understand, and I mean, you've always been pro-immigration.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love my country of Canada, and I want my borders to last. I don't want to become America. I don't want to become, what the New World Order is planning to have, one giant continent of North America. I don't want that. There's nothing wrong with borders. No. And you're right. We don't owe citizenship to anybody. No. We choose to give citizenship to some people. Yep. A lot of these people that are fleeing America and coming across the border illegally, sadly, a lot of them are going to be shipped back home. They're going to be deported.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and
you're both white supremacists.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I never knew it. Look, my problem with this is, it's. I don't like to give voice to hate speech, and I'm with Arthur. I do think people should have free speech. I don't know where you draw the line. I think what happened in Charlottesville is really scary when you have people shooting guns and running down people, and you have the other side making flamethrowers with hairspray cans.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, no one's in the right there. A protest should never turn violent to get your point across on both sides, people. And I'm not going to be 45 and saying there's bad on both sides. We know there's bad on all sides.
On both sides.
One side is clearly worse because they're spreading hate speech, but we can't.
But that's the thing, right? Like, I had a conversation.
Hate speech is not free speech, people.
Well, but I had a conversation with a friend about this last night, and I said, I agree with you, Arthur, that this is not something new.
No.
This is just something that's becoming more obvious to us.
Well, and it's not being hidden. It's not hiding in the undergrounds. People are now coming out and saying what they want to say. They're emboldened.
Because they also feel like, hey, our president believes this now.
Yeah.
Let's go out there and rah, rah, rah. You know, and I said this to my friend, who I will not mention his name. It was disgusting for the president to not denounce or denounce it later. He was waiting for the facts. I mean, is he still also waiting for the facts for the fucking Hurricane Harvey? Like, what more facts are we waiting for? You know what I mean? A 20-year-old crashed into the counter protests that were going on and killed a woman and injured God knows how many.
Yeah.
This is a fact.
Well,
you know
that's,
what I mean? Like,
that's terrorism around the world.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That was a terrorist act.
But this is extreme terrorism within our soil. We can't claim this was ISIS.
Nope.
We can't claim this was ISIL. We can't claim this was the
Al-Qaeda, Taliban.
Anything.
This was on American soil by American citizens who are believing that, well, if you don't believe in what I think, let me fucking kill you. You had intent to kill or hurt people. My issue with this is not even just with the people who are protesting. Protest all you want. Whether I agree with it or not, do it as you please. Yeah. My issue is with the fact that the president did not denounce this action. And his colleagues on his own party had said, wait, hold on, what's up? What's going on?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. When you have a spineless little twat like Paul Ryan actually coming forward and saying, you know, that's wrong and he should have said something.
Yes.
You know, or even Mitch McConnell, you know.
My kind of counter argument to that, though, is being against white supremacy isn't something that, I mean, it's kind of a fucking default. Do you know what I mean? Like, being anti-fascist, being against racism isn't something I think that any of us should really have to come out and say. Like, that should just be our default fucking mode.
It's common sense, right? And this isn't just white supremacy.
No.
These are neo-Nazis.
The thing is, it's like, if you're against it, you're right. You don't have to come out and say, oh my God, I'm not a neo-Nazi and I don't support them. It's your reaction. So when you and I and Ryan see something like happen in Charlottesville, we're like, holy cow, what's going on? This is wrong.
Yeah.
He doesn't say those things. And like, look, they should be allowed to protest. Even if you're a neo-Nazi, you should be allowed to protest if you don't want a statue to come down. That's fine. You want a statue to stay up, whatever. That's in your rights. But now you're making anti-Semitic remarks.
Yes.
What did that have to do with the statues? That wasn't even against black people. It was anti-Semitic.
Yeah, no,
you know?
the whole thing made no sense. But it's kind of funny because if you really start going back, and even through the 90s and shit like that, there were always rallies on TV and shit like that with Nazis and the KKK. They never turned violent. But now that you have this far left movement, and I fucking hate using that fucking term, but it is what it is, that are really trying to stranglehold on people's free speech as to what they think is allowable. Well, you're going to get a lot more of this kind of stuff.
Well, but this is... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
It's going to happen here. We have a movement right now of people that want to remove Sir John A. Macdonald's name from everything. Now, for anyone who's American, Sir John A. Macdonald is essentially our George Washington.
Yeah.
Now, he hated the natives. He absolutely did. He was very racist towards the natives, but at the same point in time, when people start saying he's wrong, we have to remove that chunk of history because he might have done some horrible shit, you're going to get a lot of people that are, no, it's not happening.
Yes.
We're going to get in the streets. We're going to, it's, I don't know.
Well, the way I feel about the John A. Macdonald statue, can I just say this really quickly? To me, it's different. I'm not saying he was a good guy. He probably wasn't. I mean, who was back then? There was a lot of hatred in people's attitudes towards minorities. But I think it's kind of different. Like, I mean, with the Confederation statues, these are monuments to traitors to their country. I can see why people want them down. I'm not saying whether they should come down or not. But I'm just saying, like, you're talking about the founder of our country, one of the founders of our country, and we can't. I just don't think you should start erasing that because that is history. Does a school need to be named after him? I mean, they already are. Who cares? He's on our $10 bill.
Yeah.
We're not going to get rid of him.
We can't erase
anybody who
everything.
is racist against Native people in Canada, you wouldn't have any schools named after anybody until like the 60s.
And even then, it'd be kind of hard because even then they harbored some fairly backwards views of the world.
Yeah,
and they still do. Our natives are still up on freaking reservations without water or power.
And the other part is we can't erase every part of history. Like in, for example, in the Philippines, right? We can't erase the fact that for 300 to almost 400 years we were, a Spanish colony, and that the native Filipinos, forget the ones that got mixed in, but the native Filipinos were oppressed, suppressed, and used. It wasn't until I want to say 1946 really that the Philippines had its full independency from any kind of colonization from any kind of country. You can't erase that, but what you can do is educate people so that we do know what the history is. But the difference between that and what happened in the United States with the Confederate flags and all that stuff is we have to remember what the Confederates fought for: slavery. You know what I mean? They wanted to keep American heritage alive. And the Confederate flag represents those soldiers. I'm not going to say, pseudo soldiers, but those soldiers who fought to keep slavery alive so they could keep that heritage, that culture that they called American. You know what I mean? That is the huge I think.
And here's difference. I mean, it's controversial, but I think it's fucking hilarious. This is why, as a black person in the States, I'd want to keep those statues around because it's a reminder that those motherfuckers lost and I got my freedom because of it. Every time I walk past one of them, I would feel fucking great going, fuck you, you loser motherfucker. I'm free because you're shit.
That's a great point.
But that's me. That's come from my privilege, not fucking having any grievances in my life kind of standpoint. But that's how I look at it personally. Rather than crying about it, take a positive out of it. Every time you walk past General Lee, just go, ha, sucker, you lost, I'm free.
Yeah, and we took back our freedom. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point. I kind of like, you guys all know I watch Bill Maher. I like what he says, though, because he's talking about the free speech movement. And he's not, I mean, even though he says he's a liberal, he's not quite as far left as a lot of people would be. He's like, look, free speech is free speech. And, when you got places like Berkeley University, and they're banning people and Coulter, they banned him. They banned other people that were going to speak about, I can't remember her name, but she's the Muslim writer and she left Islam.
I know who you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah. And she was banned because the Islamic students on campus were like, she's going to say hate speech. Questioning a religion is not hate speech as long as you're not saying die. You should die. I can question the Catholic Church. I can question the Jewish religion. I can question Buddhism. Anybody, but I can still say that I don't agree with certain principles in your religion or your culture. I can go to an African culture, and if I see something I don't like, I'll say it. If I see something in German culture, I'll say something I don't like. If I see something in Canadian culture, I can say I don't like it. It's not hate speech and it's not racism.
Yes. The difference is that when violence is being used upon your opponents, and it's basically kind of like a reenactment of the civil, what those neo-Nazis did was reenact the Civil War, which is, and plus let's not forget, World War II was not that long ago. We still have World War II soldiers alive, and we all know what they fought for. We all know what the Nazis stood for. It wasn't, they didn't just hate anybody else who had a different skin color. They hated people who were Jewish as well. So you know what I mean? It's like people tend to forget that aspect, and I think I wouldn't be, again, I'm not a neo-Nazi, so probably I wouldn't be proud to call myself a neo-Nazi. But this also, I think the reason why a lot of people are kind of extremely annoyed with Donald Trump, or 45, as we call him, is that these were the people who literally gave their full-out support. There were videos released of these people talking about how they would be able to speak up more and do more if Donald Trump wins as president. That's why I think it was so controversial. A lot of people are, because I've seen some friends of mine, I'm not going to mention names, on Facebook going, I don't understand why all these people are up in arms. because you don't know the history of these people and what they did to try and win that presidency for Trump so that they could be more active. You know what I mean? The disgust behind it, the disgust behind what they did is just, to me, I can't. You know what I mean? Like, and then you're waiting for, as the president, I hate to constantly go back to this fact, but you were waiting for more facts to come in. What were you waiting for? Like, a woman died. Like, one life is too many, but a woman died because of this. And I think 2 policemen were also injured badly, or maybe even died.
They died.
Yeah,
they died.
2 that died.
They died. So what facts are you waiting for to start to say that was wrong? And then when he did, he then came back and said both sides were to blame. The opposing side actually was quietly just protesting until they were attacked. But okay.
I don't know about that, because those Antifa assholes, they showed up for a fight.
Yeah.
And I will say this, the one thing I will say is it's about time those Antifa fuckheads actually went and fought real fucking Nazis. It's about time. I'm so sick and tired of looking at their Facebook groups like, we're gonna bash the fash, and then they go out and they just fucking accost fucking just right wingers. Get out there, fight some real fucking Nazis, assholes. Their compounds are all over the fucking states. Like, get out there and do what the fuck you say you want to do.
Can I ask? This is one of those crazy kind of conspiracy theory kind of questions, but do you think that Bilderberg Group or one of those kind of New World Order groups, shady Illuminati, whatever, they helped get 45 elected so that he could bring about the race wars?
A little bit of destabilization. I couldn't see it being something that like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like elaborate. I mean, maybe that's the Russian connection. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what the Chinese government's trying to do. I don't fucking know. I've honestly looked at it like my entire life, paying attention to American media, music, movies, TV, all that kind of shit. Racial tensions have sucked down there the entire time. Yeah. You know, I think it's always been building towards this, because you do have this level of, like, I don't want to use the term nationalism because I have no beef with someone loving their country and being a nationalist, but this kind of sense of nationalism where any kind of change is an aggression to these people, and they're willing to go to fucking war over it. I don't know.
What do you think it would take for that to become a civil war? Do you think that you'll have a right and left civil war? I mean, I don't think it's going to be so much a race wars as much as if a civil war happened, it would be, you know.
I do think it will be that, the left versus the right, because I mean it's going to happen if stuff doesn't start. You know, if there can't be compromise and everything has to be so polarizing the way it has to be now, because like let's not forget that fact that there's no middle ground anymore. It's either one side's right or the other side's right. There's no such thing as being in the middle anymore. You can't make both sides happy, which is going to fucking cause a lot of...
That's the problem. There's no compromise.
There's zero compromise anymore, which to me is an absolute fucking shame. I mean, that's what a democratic society is supposed to be. You know, and I was even thinking that with the statues, like, did they put any of the removals to a vote?
No.
I don't know.
Right?
I think so.
Yeah. I think maybe some city councilors, but no city votes for the people.
As far as I'm concerned, if we're living in a democratic society, this should all be put to a vote. And sorry, if your side loses, just like in the last election, you lost. I'm sorry, shut up, you fucking lost. That's democracy.
But that's exactly, that's how it works. We have to be we have to be willing to accept the fact that these things are the way our government works, which is, if we lose, we lose. Unfortunately, we just have to accept that. But no, I don't think that they did put into vote any removals of the statues. That's why I think it was so controversial when it happened in, what's her state? Nikki Haley's state? I forget what state that was, but when they removed those statues, it was so controversial because there was no vote. But I do think that like Jacqueline said, maybe the councils and the local government tried, but no people vote. So
well, they took them away in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I know why they did it, but it definitely seems shady if you're on the side for the statues.
I was gonna say
right?
it's kind of a little bit shady looking as well to do it in the middle of the night. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I mean, I kind of understand though. It's you know the level of secrecy definitely would conceal any problems. You know, like
Yeah.
especially with what just happened. I can't blame that woman for being like, no, we're just gonna do them while everyone's sleeping. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it. I really am, because once we start getting down to everything, I mean, we can start taking down everything from our past because those people were all assholes all over the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, this is the thing. Like, let's look at just say Britain.
Yeah.
Right. They've got statues up for thousands of years. Are they going to start taking down the Sir Walter Raleigh? Are you going to take down
I was just reading the other day, there is a regressive movement in England that's trying to remove these statues of their sordid past. But I'm sorry, assholes, that's what made your country. Embrace it.
Yeah.
It might be embarrassing, but fucking embrace it. You can apologize for it. You don't have to take pride in the fact that whatever general went and fucking fucked over India or whatever, but just understand that's what made you who you are. Embrace it.
Yeah,
Embrace the good with
exactly.
the bad. If you can, I don't know. I don't think you're a well-adjusted human being.
But that's the issue, Arthur. I think a lot of people don't want history to come with the bad stuff. I think, honestly, I just thought about this as you were saying that. I think a lot of people just want to remember the good with the good. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to. They don't want to realize that hey, our history comes with both good and with bad. And unfortunately, we kind of have to, like you say, deal with it. Like as adults, we just have to deal with the fact that this was and is the history of the world.
Yep.
Most Western countries, Caucasian people kind of have this history, and we can't erase that. You know what I mean? Like this is the honest truth. And if we start to just erase everything that we don't agree with, what kind of history would we have left? What would we be teaching our children?
Nothing.
We have a comment in the live chat from Whirlwind Raccoon. That's a good name. There was a statue torch last week, and there are people saying monuments like Mount Rushmore should be removed.
Yeah.
No. Sorry. No.
This is the thing. Is like, if things make you uncomfortable or sad or upset, do we hide our head into the sand and pretend it's not there? Do we change things? I mean, we have to admit the history happened. You're going to learn about it in school.
Educate.
What's too far? You take down the statues. And like I said, I kind of do think you should take down the Confederate statues. But, I mean, there's your slippery slope.
Yeah.
Once it starts, then we go to Washington. Then we go to Mount Rushmore.
Right. Yes.
Like,
and the next thing you know, we're erasing
I get why people don't
presidency.
want to. Yeah.
Yeah. I was getting into it with the whole Sir John A. Macdonald thing with a few people online. And they kept saying, they kept reiterating the fact that he was racist against the natives. So then I came at them with, well, when do we remove the native monuments? And they're like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, you had a race of people that hated these people for coming to their land. They didn't want them to emigrate here. They hated them for their color of their skin, and they tried to fucking murder them at every fucking point. Why are their monuments okay, but ours aren't? Now, again, it's a bit of a stretch, but it's the fucking truth. White people came here to North America. The fucking natives looked at them like, fuck these white devils. We don't like you. We're not sharing our fucking land with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Are we going to start to eradicate all of the white people? Because it goes into that. It's like if we start to just erase every part of history, well, what are we going to do?
We'll have to take down the pyramids. We got to take down the Parthenon. We got to take down the Great Wall of China.
People forget that slavery has a long history. It goes into religion. It goes into laws.
And it hasn't ended.
No,
it hasn't ended.
No,
it hasn't completely ended yet.
It's so fucking stupid. Like, for the most part, I'd give it 200 years, like, with mass slavery. It's kind of, went the way of the fucking dinosaurs, but there is still slavery.
Yeah.
But that's world fucking wide.
Of course.
But, you know what I mean? It's just, it's so dumb to me. It's so fucking dumb. I can understand if somebody erected a fucking statue of Adolf Hitler somewhere in fucking, like, Ohio. Yeah, take that stupid fucking thing down. That's dumb. You know, but fuck off.
Yeah.
And this other thing, it's kind of a joke, but did you hear that they want to replace a Confederate statue in Atlanta, I think, with fucking Missy Elliott?
Oh, no, that's too much. No.
This is a real thing.
I have nothing against her, but really, what has she accomplished in life?
That's what they said, that
History
Missy
long
Elliott has
statue.
done more for the city of Atlanta than any of these Confederates have. And that's when I got that thought of, well, no, because the Confederates lost and gave you all your your freedom. So I think they might have done a little more. But again.
Well, there's the other thing. I saw that this happened up in the Toronto area in the Pickering flea markets. It's a flea market. It's kind of crappy, but there's a guy who always sells, and you see them at the CNE every year. He sells war memorabilia, and he had a Nazi helmet. He's got some Nazi badges, and people want it removed because they're trying to claim that he's pro-Nazi.
No.
You know what? My son is quite into history. He loves looking at the old Russian, the USSR stuff.
Yep.
He's bought some stuff from there. I don't think he's a communist. Maybe he is, but why can't those things exist? Just because you buy it doesn't mean that you're pro something. It's because you love the history of it.
Yeah. I mean, does it mean that I'm, from the companies that I buy, does it mean I'm a pro-Republican agenda because I buy from these companies that are?
Well, when I was in the U.S., I went to Chick-fil-A. I did not tell my daughter what was happening about Chick-fil-A's history, but I had to have that one time. It was freaking fucking delicious. Let me tell you, if I lived by Chick-fil-A, I would give up all my freaking ethics for that chicken.
Let me tell you something. There's no politics when it comes to food. Food is food.
Oh, it was
it
so
will go
good.
inside my stomach, and it will be digested, and it will be amazing.
Sorry to the LGBTQ community. I had to eat that chicken.
I'm revoking your lesbian card as we speak.
Okay. So let's move on. I think we've beaten that to death. I'm sure we'll be talking about it next week or the week after. It's never going away.
It's fucking everywhere.
Yeah. Let's talk about Hurricane Harvey down in Texas.
Oh my God.
You know, when I saw this happening and I saw these people trapped in their homes, I was like, what the hell? Why didn't they evacuate? This is so stupid. This is like Hurricane Katrina. You know, they had warning, get out. It's like the biggest storm coming in like 50 years or some crazy shit.
Longer.
But I saw something in a CNN article. They were talking to, I don't know if he's the sheriff or some leader of the city anyway. But he was saying the reason he didn't is because they would have been trapped in gridlock trying to escape. 6.5 million people on the road. I didn't think about that.
Yes.
Yeah, there's some facts that I was reading also on CNN. Where is that? Let me get the exact number because I don't want to sound like a dum-dum. 11 trillion gallons of rain have already fallen on Texas.
That's a lot. It's a lot of water.
11 trillion. That's insane. There's 62 counties under disaster declaration. And there's people trapped. It's scary. You see the pictures of the old folks' home, and they're up to their necks in water.
Yeah.
Can I just say something?
Go ahead, Ryan. Yeah, go ahead.
Good luck.
Yeah. Well, I thought what was ironic was Ted Cruz. You know, Ted Cruz and another guy from Texas had voted against relief money for the people of Superstorm Sandy. And before the storm even hit, they had their hands out asking for money. I'm not saying they didn't need it, but it's going to take. They said it could take decades to recover from this in Houston.
Yes, it is.
I mean,
they're about to open up the reservoirs now, and there's going to be even more flooding. So can you imagine even more damage is about to occur?
It's going to be
but it's necessary for them to open up the reservoirs. So it's like this really happened. Now we're declaring
it's not finished yet.
No.
Louisiana.
It could be 4 more days of rain.
Louisiana just declared, or rather 45 just declared a state of emergency for Louisiana. Where was that for Texas? We didn't hear you do that.
Funny. I know he said they were praying for them and hoping for stuff to come in.
But that's why I said good luck. Because that's what he literally said in an interview. What's your message to the people of Texas? Good luck.
I feel bad for the people. Obviously, I feel bad for the people, but when you build a city below sea level next to the ocean, the fuck you think's going to happen?
Yeah.
You know, it's the same.
I get that point.
It's the same with people that live in Tornado Alley. Why the fuck should I feel bad that your trailer got fucking picked up there, Mary Sue? Like, you live in fucking Tornado Alley. The fuck is
You
wrong
live
with
on
you?
the Mississippi or the Red River in Canada. They
Right?
flood every spring. Yeah, I get your point.
You know, like,
But
it's terrible. Obviously, it's terrible. You know, these people they're losing everything. They're losing their entire lives. Yeah, I'm pretty sure people have died. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure some people have
I don't
died.
know
Yeah.
if they've released the numbers, but I'm sure there's dead people.
You know, and that's
Last I
tragic.
checked, it was like 13. I think they said.
You know,
Yeah.
that's
Last I checked.
tragic. But
Yeah.
when the Mariana's fault there, or whatever the hell it is in fucking California goes, like, I'm not going to feel bad for the assholes that built their farms along that fault line. You're dumb. You know it's going to fucking move. What the fuck is wrong with you?
But all of life, I mean, I will say this, Arthur. I mean, I don't necessarily completely disagree with you, but part of it is that you take a chance. You know what I mean? Like, so to some people, you know, to some of these people, they take a chance and hope, you know, hoping to God
Hope for the best,
or
yeah.
hoping to anything. Yeah, but at the same time, if that specific place has a history of, you know, rainfall like this, or that's
Yeah.
rainfall, that we call that a superstorm. You know what I mean? Like, what are we supposed to do? Just ignore the fact that you know what I mean? So for me,
All I'm going to say is if I move to fucking serial killer alley and I get serial killed, don't feel bad for me because I fucked up by moving to there.
I agree.
Serial killer alley.
Like, I mean, again, it's a fucking bit of a logical fallacy, but fuck off. Like, it's pretty fucking dumb.
Well, I mean, let's look at Katrina. A lot of people never went back to New Orleans because they
Right.
did learn their lessons.
Yeah.
But they rebuilt it, and it's still you know, New Orleans is still sinking, as
Yeah. Well,
you know,
you
tragically
know,
said.
there's also other factors into why, but you know,
Yeah.
it's not real. Remember,
That's
it's
why,
not
you know
real.
what? I love the part of Canada that I live in. I live in the Bluffs area. I'm up on a big hill. When the ice caps melt and the flooding comes, I'm not flooding.
Thanks,
I might
nice
have to get a
know.
boat to get around, but I'm okay.
Good to know for you because I don't, and I'm probably going to be 600 feet underwater. And
Well, our
dying.
friend Justin lives in Florida. His state is going to be gone.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not doing anything about that either. So
Guys, haven't you heard? It's not real because he's a 45 is a scientist and he's proven the fact that it's not real. We need some global warming.
you know,
God,
he needs to
oh
get
my
that
God.
orange glow. So we need more sun.
We need more sun, you know, because people don't realize, you know, because they think global warming means, oh, it's just going to warm up.
We talked a lot about 45 today, which is upsetting. And I'm going to talk
Yeah.
about him a little bit more, just because the other story that's really kind of got me perplexed this summer, the USS John McCain collision out in the Asian waters.
Yeah.
So this is a warcraft ship.
Yes.
This is a ship that has state-of-the-art radar and technology on it, and it crashed into a merchant ship.
Yes.
10 people, 10 crewmen.
Yes.
U.S. Navy, you know, military guys. I don't know the terminology. I'm not into that stuff. But I mean, 10 men are dead because of this. Sadly, this isn't the first time. There's been 4 this year alone in the Asian waters.
Yeah.
And 7 men died just in June on the other ship. I don't know its name. How is this happening? I'm not blaming 45 for this. He doesn't run the ships. I think if he did, they'd all be fucking sunk at the bottom of the ocean.
God, we'd all be
really.
But I don't understand how state-of-the-art technology, the amount of trillions of dollars they spend on their military,
trillions.
and this is happening?
Here's my thing. God, this is going to be such an unpopular opinion. Crap happens. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, as much as, like, my phone is state-of-the-art, we can consider my phone to be state-of-the-art, your phone to be state-of-the-art, but, you know, things happen. I know that
You
sounds
really
like
just chalk up 4 accidents? Shit happens?
kind of.
You don't
but
think
not-
that's
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
someone's screwing the pooch here and not paying attention when they're at the helms?
Well, then we have to start an investigation if that was to be believed. But I don't know. You know, my thing is state of the art doesn't always necessarily mean always fully functioning. You know what I'm
This
saying?
is true. I mean, they send, you know, satellites to space and they fail. I get that.
Yeah.
But 4 in 1 year? When was the last time that happened? When was the last time a ship crashed? A U.S. military naval
Oh,
ship?
I was gonna say, don't talk about that because the Carnival ships all freaking sunk. But
Yeah.
Oh,
no
yeah.
comment. So thank God you involved that, you U.S. military ships.
I mean, are these ships trying to kill themselves because they're part of?
Can I just tell you guys
Are they
something
being
that's...
hacked?
Can I just tell you guys something
What's-
that's actually really bothering me right now? Before I actually got on
course.
the bus as I'm commuting to work, and the car literally just hit and run, and it was so upsetting to see that happen.
Oh my god!
Yes,
Was it
this
a
literally
person?
happened. That's why I was so shook off. That's why.
Was it a person or another
Yes.
car?
It was
I
a
thought I heard you.
person. That's why I
Oh my
gasped so
gosh.
loudly, because it literally happened in front of my eyes. I was like maybe 5 feet away. I was like,
That's
oh my god.
scary.
I know.
Did the
I
person
know.
like dead or?
No, not the person. The dog.
Oh, a dog. I thought you said a person.
A dog.
That's the
Yeah,
horrible,
the
is
dog's
the dog.
definitely dead.
Oh.
Yeah. So sad. Sorry, I just wanted to say that.
No,
Breaking
that's
news.
sad. That stuff is shocking when you see that stuff.
I've seen it. It does suck.
Yeah, you don't want to see anybody hurt, but
Order of life, though, right? And that happens. And the thing is, too, the dog didn't have a leash. So,
Well, put your dogs
Yeah.
on leashes, especially in the city.
yeah. Because the car didn't even stop. He just kept going. The other fact was he was speeding. He was like going 40 on a 25 zone, but
I
whatever.
hear some music.
What do you
Our friend Whirlwind Raccoon has a statement about what we were just talking about, which is good. He's in the know of these things, it seems like.
Good
He
stuff.
says, go look at live Doppler of that shipping channel.
Yeah.
It's not really them. It's the people that have the state-of-the-art technology for the traffic control on the channel. Okay. So it's coming down to the traffic controllers making up the problem. See, I didn't know that there was a traffic control for that. I just thought the ships were kind of, the person driving it was like, we're taking this route and that's where we're going.
See, that was kind of
Yeah.
my thought process behind it, that it wasn't necessarily the military's fault, but these merchant
Yeah.
shippers that probably just don't give two shits. They got deadlines to carry, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that could be it.
I think that what we need to do when the state of the art thing fails is for us to have some kind of plan to teach the military the basics of how they functioned before all of this.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I know that sounds so dumb, but I really do think that sometimes when technology advances, we forget the basics of life. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I don't know how to completely function without a phone because everything is in my phone, or is on my phone, rather. And so it could be a case if someone was like, oh, I'll get some sort of alert. I don't know how it functions, but, I'll get some sort of alert if something is too close, and then boom, shakalaka.
Yeah, just relying too heavily on the technology for the
Exactly,
technology to do its
exactly.
part. Yeah, that could be it.
Mhm.
I mean,
is the training sufficient enough for these, ship captains and crewmen?
I'd imagine.
I'm not calling them. Yeah. Well, hopefully it is.
I couldn't-
completely.
I couldn't see the U.S. government allowing these billion-dollar machines in the hands of fucking drunks and idiots.
I hope so.
Let's hope.
I hope so.
I mean, I don't know. Like, when I first seen it, I just figured it had to do with the opium fucking epidemic, and, I just wrote it off to that.
Yeah.
But he was high on heroin.
But everything is for me. Everything is a hope. I hope that I don't necessarily think they're going to need complete, full investigation, but I do think they need to investigate because, like Jacqueline had pointed out, I thought this was state of the art. We spend trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars on this, and
Wasn't
we
it?
had an accident.
It was all under one admiral, though, right? They discharged him, did they not?
He
Yes,
has
they did.
been
Yes, they did.
discharged. But I mean, I don't think he was controlling all ships himself. He's just in charge of that.
Yeah, he's in charge of that
Area.
fleet or whatever. I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, people get in fucking car crashes. I mean, what's to say that, boat crashes don't happen in the same kind of number?
Yeah.
I mean,
This is gonna
guess
say you
that's
can't,
true.
you
You know.
can't stop natural things from occurring.
human error.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're not the fucking best creatures out there. I mean,
I
we
was
fuck
gonna
up
say, yeah.
constantly.
That's why I said shit happens, because shit happens. You know what I mean? It's like one blink of an eye, you relied so much on the computer programming and all that stuff, and it's like, but you forgot that nature still takes its course. Like, for example, with mobile phones, when it's too hot outside, they stop functioning
Yeah.
because it's so hot. But then if you keep pushing the limit and then it fucking explodes, what the fuck do you think is gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? People sometimes are just quick to go, blah 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 blah.
But your
then
phone's
what
gonna
did you do to
explode from the
cause it?
heat.
Yeah, it can.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, that's why the batteries are not supposed to be next to like hot.
Well, I know that, like you're bedding or whatever. Yeah.
Coming from the person who sleeps with his phone charging next to his face, by the way. But,
I do not.
I do too.
What do I know?
I like to live
What do I
dangerously,
know?
though.
I need that warmth.
And I mean, hey, with fucking the problem Samsung had, if it fucking blows up, maybe I can get a few million out of them.
I was gonna say.
Well, you know, a house on the street behind us literally went up in flames because they left their phone charging.
Oh, wow.
And it burnt down and killed their dog.
Fuck that. Dog's getting out of my house first.
That's what I say to the kids. I'm like, if there's ever a thing, you get out of the house. If you can open the back door, the front door, do that and get the dogs out.
Yeah.
And then you can start trying to get the other people out of the house.
Straight up. I don't know. I'm surprised Trump didn't try to blame it on the fucking North Koreans, considering geographically where that accident happened.
And
Yeah.
there we go
Like,
with the topic. Because
I was actually really surprised by that. But I don't know. Do you think he's trying to escalate it, or do you think that asshole wants to de-escalate?
I will say this
Trump
is gonna
or
Oh, Un's fucking. That guy's looking for a scrap. Or no, it's Kim Jong Un.
It's Un. It's Un.
Yeah, no, that
It's
asshole
Un,
is looking for a fucking scrap. Like, you can see it.
See, he doesn't love American. Like, I mean, his father loved American music and movies and all that stuff. So, like, you know, you kind of hope he wouldn't destroy America just because he wants the music and the movies. But
I will say this is going to be the most shocking thing coming out of my mouth. I kind of thought that was the first time 45 looked super presidential.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there.
That was the response I was looking for. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking bomb the shit. We should have bombed the shit out of them a long fucking time ago. I'm not pro-war UN. Don't come knocking on my door, fucking putting me in jail. But I would have bombed the shit out of North Korea years ago. These little shit-tards, right? These little fucking shit-tards want to fucking talk all this crap, blah, 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 blah. You have underfed, malnourished fucking soldiers. How the fuck are you going to defend yourself, you know, against trillions of dollars worth of fucking technology backing us up? But, you know, but the thing is, we needed that moment for him to say, if you attack our soil, we're going to retaliate.
Yeah.
Well, he has to say that, but this has always been kind of a rubbing point to me. Why does America get to decide who has nuclear weapons?
I agree with you there. I've always found that to be a little dumb.
You know, like they went in and made sure Iran didn't have nuclear weapons. They went in and made sure Iraq didn't have nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you to tell me as a country that I can and cannot have nuclear weapons?
I think,
you know, just because I'm a crazy country?
I was just going to say, I think that it has a lot to do with it. Are these people stable? Do these people have enemies that they are willing to just kind of obliterate, turn their nation into a fucking sheet of glass?
For no reason. Exactly.
Right?
That's kind of the point with it.
Well, I get that, but still, who are they to say that?
No, I'm with you on that, Jacqueline.
Oh, I agree with you on that.
I've always thought that, like, who are the Americans to think that they are the only ones that are allowed to dictate how a nation defends itself?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, me personally,
threats.
I believe we should just get rid of all nuclear bombs. I don't think they really serve much purpose.
No.
You know?
No.
It's... I get it. It's destruction. It's a way to just kind of quickly fucking take out huge chunks of land and people and personnel and fucking vehicles and shit real easily. But no, it's true. Who are they to say who can have what?
Well,
I
and
agree with that.
Put yourself in North Korea's position. And I'm not trying to, I'm definitely not pro-North Korean. But you're a country that has no allies. You're a country that has embargoes against it. You're barely feeding your people. And at every turn, there's the enemy.
Yep.
Wouldn't you feel better sleeping at night if you had a nuke? I'm not saying they should or they shouldn't. I don't think he should have a nuke because he's unhinged.
Yes.
But why'd you let him get to that point too?
Here's the thing.
Why did the world come together and do something?
You know, a lot of us are looking at this from the standpoint of, you know, the Western point of view. But then I like what you said, the point that you made, which is imagine how they feel having literally nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, granted, this guy though is like out of his fucking cracker. You know what I mean? Like, he's out of his rocker. He's fucking nutso. But the threats that he made is what I think then made Donald Trump say, I'm going to kill you if you do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's that kind of happening towards Guam, who doesn't have, I mean, it's American soil, it's, you know, it's a territory of the United States. That would happen to Guam, you know, that's millions of lives lost as well. So
yeah, exactly. And just because Guam is a faraway place from, you know, continental America doesn't mean that those people don't listen.
Exactly.
Or matter, I mean, not listen. They
thing
matter.
is, though, like, when Un starts going off about, well, we got this and we got that, but no, what he hasn't said that they have? A fucking missile defense system. Yeah. Like, bravo, bro, you got some weapons, but you have nothing that ensures the safety of your people, which to me kind of shows how unhinged he is.
He's completely off his rocker.
He's willing to threaten a country that has a track record of not giving a fuck and just walking in and taking whatever the fuck they want.
And the only country in the world that has used a nuclear weapon anymore.
Right, and you have the balls to fucking be like, no, fuck you, bro. We're gonna bomb one of your territories.
My one tiny little missile is gonna get, you know, and he keeps saying it can make it all the way to California or the Western Coast. Well, good luck to you if you do it, because you will be off the map.
Oh, absolutely. And Japan's already said they will shoot down anything that comes from that region. Like, does not matter what it is, they're shooting it down.
They've got all that anti-missile shit in South Korea too. Right. So,
and then you even have their only ally in China, North Korea. And they're saying, whoa, bro, like, we can't support this shit. Like, the fuck is wrong with you?
China doesn't want to be involved in that shit at all. They're trying to, you know, they're working on their money and building up their infrastructure before they take over the world.
They're fucking getting ready to go debt collecting at the U.S.'s door. It looks like fucking California is going to be annexed after all.
I'm moving to California now.
Yeah, straight up. But no, it really does show how unhinged this fucking guy is. Yeah. But like when you're surrounded by nothing but yes men,
you're threatening the country that spends more than the next 22 other countries in its military. Like, really, Kim Jong-un? Are you that smart?
Well, I mean, this is a country where they believe that Kim Jong-il trained himself not to pee or poo.
Yeah.
You know, this is a country where they believe that Kim Jong-il at 4 years old got 4 bullseyes with a gun. Because he's so godlike. It's, you know, and you have to believe this stuff or else you get
killed.
You know, killed.
Literally killed. Actually, there's a very interesting, it's called Asian Boss on YouTube, and this guy interviews a lot of North Korean defectors. It's a very interesting, what do you call that, series that he does, because as I was watching some of these interviews, I was like, wow, you know, we look at it from a Western point of view and we say, how could you believe this? You know what I mean? Like, for you, for me, for Arthur, it's like, how the fuck can a person believe that, someone can stop themselves from pooping? But again, it's hammered into their heads every day. Every single fact of their life is controlled by the government. You want to talk about a complete totalitarian, that is totalitarian. Yeah. People in monarchy system Britain back then had more freedom than this.
Well, even people in communist Russia had more,
freedom than that. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, just a little cute fact because I've been watching those.
Yeah, no, that sounds interesting. I might take a look at those when I'm caught up on all my TV shows.
Why waste all that money fucking building weapons when you can't feed your goddamn country? Maybe invest in some food.
That's no different than any country, right? I mean, look at the trillions of dollars spent in America, and you've got people on food stamps and no food. That's how governments run, though.
That's a little different, though, because there is food in the U.S. for them poor people on food stamps to eat. There is no fucking food for these people in North Korea to eat, so they're having children to eat their fucking children.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it's messed up. But, you know,
I did hear there's a lot of cannibalism happening.
It's their only option. It's their only fucking option. But, yeah, I don't know.
At least trade babies with somebody so you're not eating your own kid. Jeez.
Oh, God. That's
I know that sounds not quite as nice, but I mean...
Like fucking trading Pokemon cards. Fuck.
It's not Pokemon cards. I'm just saying, wouldn't it be easier to eat somebody else's baby than your own baby? Switch them off at least. I don't know. If you're listening, North Koreans...
Yeah.
I highly doubt they have access to YouTube, but if they are listening, 'cause
Yeah.
we had a #1 hit in North Korea last year, me and Jacqueline.
We did.
We had a #1 hit.
What was that song called again? We have so many #1 hits, I can't keep track of them.
This was Kim Jong Un ate my vagina.
Oh.
Oh yes, that one.
It was a wonderful
Same
song. Very
never been
meaningful.
But you know, what we got 5 minutes left. What do you?
Yes.
Anything else? You want to talk about the Pink thing quickly,
Yeah.
or
sure.
no? Okay. So
The
last
what?
night at the MTV Music Awards, Pink won the Michael Jackson Vanguard Music, whatever that shit is. Can I just tell you? I was looking at the list of the people there, the dressed, you know, who was wearing what. I knew like 8 people on that list. It was like people I never heard of.
They actually had an article about that, but yes, go ahead.
Oh, did they? Okay. So she won the award, and while she was up there, she was talking about how her daughter, who's 6 years old, was upset because she said she looked like a boy with long hair, and she was ugly. And, you know, Pink tried to empower her. She made a whole PowerPoint presentation with all these androgynous artists like Annie Lennox and David Bowie. And she's like, you know, it doesn't matter. You can be whatever you want. And her daughter just was like, no, I'm ugly. I look like a boy. I've got strong muscles. And you know, it's sad. I mean, she gave her a little speech about taking gravel and making it into pearls or whatever. But it's sad. And I know it's real. And I know it happens every day. But it's sad at 6 years old. Kids are already thinking that they're ugly, you know?
I hate to say something that's unpopular, but I feel like I've said
say
a
it.
lot
That's
of
what-
unpopular
The
stuff.
show is about unpopular shit all
Yeah.
the time.
But the thing is, this is reality. There are people like her who are like me who do not feel. The one thing you need to teach, instead of trying to reenact the fact that, you know, she is beautiful in her own way and blah blah blah, is say, fuck it.
Yeah.
Be
Exactly.
smart. Be strong.
It's a
be
hard thing to
resilient.
teach a
Yeah.
child. It really is.
Children ridiculing children is one of the biggest building blocks of our fucking lives.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry, like, you have to go through some kind of bullying or some kind of bullshit as a young person to honestly
Yes.
face the adversity that you're
Yes.
going to face as an adult.
Yes.
I don't
absolutely.
like fucking anybody. You know what I mean? Like, I fucking judge everybody. Now,
Oh, me
these
too.
people can handle that judgment because at some point in their fucking childhood, they met an asshole like me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Now, I do feel bad for this little girl, and it's happening as well to my friend's daughter. But at the same
Yeah.
point in time, this is a crucial fucking building block of you becoming a well-adjusted member of society.
Yeah, because
Well-
I mean, the truth is, it happened to me, and you know, I'm the most
Yeah.
beautiful supermodel in the world, and
Jealous haters are going to hate.
yes, and the thing is, I know for a fact I'm not an Elizabeth Taylor, I'm not a Montgomery Clift, but fuck that. Like, I mean, I'd rather have brains, and I'd rather have a strong mind than be, because that fades eventually. I think that's the thing that we really need to start teaching kids is, some people hit the genetic jackpot and some people just don't. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't hit that jackpot, unfortunately. I wish I did. But
You know,
to
matter what, let me tell you, I raised my daughter, you know, I mean, I told her every day she was beautiful because that's, I think, and I told my son every day he's handsome. But I told them that they had to be more.
yes.
No matter what I try to do to my daughter, she still comes up and stares and says I'm fat, which drives me crazy because she's not fat at all. Well, what are you going to do? You can only
Yes.
build them up as much as they absorb it in,
Yes.
and tell them that there's more to life than being, you know, beautiful or having a flat stomach, you know?
But it's hard. It's hard to believe when you're living in that truth. You know what I mean?
It is.
It's really
And
hard to
it's-
believe.
Teenage years, it's hard to be that way. What I like about my
course.
daughter is she doesn't give a fuck, and she hasn't for a long time. For the most part, she wears what she wants. She comes up with some outfits that make me go, Jesus, what are you wearing?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's what she likes, and
Exactly.
if she's comfortable in it, who am I to not celebrate it, right?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly.
It's just, to me, it's just pointless, especially within regards to Pink's daughter, like, not feeling attractive. Like, little girl, you're rich as shit. You can go pay for all
Yeah.
the fucking plastic surgery in the fucking world if you
Some
don't
of
feel
us,
fucking
some
pretty.
of us can't do that.
You
I
know?
wish I could. You know,
I know, no one's paying for my liposuction
Right.
and tummy.
Yeah.
You can
What the
afford
fuck?
enough fucking alcohol and cocaine to erase all the bad fucking feelings. Shut the fuck up.
She probably will.
Yeah, let us fucking peasants deal with these fucking problems.
it makes it sound so insensitive, but it's kind of true because for me, my niece, like I tell her all the time, it's like I'd rather have her be teased than her be praised and then have that one person enter your life, like it happened to somebody that I know very well named me, be just, you know what I mean, have that reminder of, because I'd rather know what I look like than have this
Well, and
idea.
there's the other danger is that you raise some sort of vacuous little drip
Yeah.
that has nothing going on in their lives, and all they want to do is spend 2 hours putting on makeup and have nothing to talk about.
Yep.
So you don't want that. You want them to, if you want to look pretty and put on makeup and spend 2 hours, sure, but you need something else to back it up, which is what I've kind of always told Marley. But the thing that I think is kind of funny is this poor little Willow, as she is named, on the red carpet last night for the MTV VMAs, wearing her Doc Martens and her custom-made 3-piece suit, and most kids are going to school in Walmart or Payless shoes.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
I'm ugly as shit, and I didn't have the fucking privilege that little girl came up with, and I think I'm fucking well adjusted.
Yeah.
Fuck out of
You
here.
have your moments anyway.
Oh yeah.
We all do.
Yeah. I just it's just such a fucking, it's just a dumb problem to have as far as I'm concerned. And again, I do believe that children need to face this type of adversity.
Yeah,
They need to.
they do. It does make you stronger. I grew up poor as shit with no food in the cupboards, and I'm
Exactly.
sort of okay.
Exactly.
Well, that should be the end of the show. I think Ryan's got to start his job now.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening. We'll be here Wednesday with some new topics, and we missed you guys.
Yeah.
Just doing this. I like talking. See you Wednesday at 9 a.m.
Yep. Take care.
Bye.